It's no secret that the maps in Black Ops 6 aren't Treyarch's greatest. They legit look like they were designed by AI. But that's not the point. The point and concern is when the hell are we gonna get some decent maps in Black Ops 6? Season 1 already brought us 2 new maps and they are, well, they're not good. Hacienda is coming later in Season 1, but that's not enough. In this video, I'm going to go through each Treyarch game old school DLC style and pick out 4 maps from each game that should be added to Black Ops 6. If they actually did this, it would have truly been a celebration of all Treyarch games. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to do this in reverse order of release, so I'm going to do Cold War first, all the way through to World at War. I'm not going to do COD 3 as I never played that game, so I don't know the maps at all to form an opinion, but it actually works out perfectly for 6 games and 6 seasons. Starting with Cold War. Now, the launch maps in Cold War definitely weren't the best, but we got some decent maps post-release, and you'll find a few of those in here. First, we have Yamantau, a beautiful snow-covered map which released in Season 3 of Cold War. If you ever played the Black Ops campaign, you've been through Yamantau. The map is set up very similar to the satellite tower in that mission. It has a good mix of indoor and outdoor combat, plays great on most game modes, and its size feels great for 6v6. This would be a great addition to Black Ops 6. Next, we have Moscow, probably the best launch map we were given in Cold War. Moscow has a classic 3-lane design, making it perfect for all game modes, and it was a competitive map all year long. It's a perfect size for 6v6, and the map fits perfectly with the movement in this game. Let's bring it back. Rush. I know this was a Black Ops 2 remake, but I have a lot of Black Ops 2 maps to go through, so I'm putting Rush with Cold War. Sue me. Rush is set in a small paintball arena, making it a super unique style for a COD map. Moving from cover to cover like you would in real life feels so cool, and the colors just pop. This is such a good pub map, and it would be super fun to add to Black Ops 6. Lastly, we have Apocalypse. This was one of the best maps added to the game, and it was great in all game modes, and I believe it was added to the comp rotation as well, so it's extremely versatile. And if there's one thing this game is lacking at the moment, it's competitive maps. It's a great size for 6v6 and it would fit in very well with the Black Ops 6 movement. There we have it, Black Ops Cold War Season 1 map pack, Yamantau, Moscow, Rush, and Apocalypse. I know Season 1 of Black Ops 6 is already underway and the only returning map will be Hacienda, but let's get some throwback map packs going, Treyarch. Come on. Before we move on, if you're new here and enjoying the video, hit that subscribe button, it's completely free. Moving on to Black Ops 4. This game I feel like gets forgotten about at times just due to when it was released, which was during Fortnite's peak. Black Ops 4 had a lot of returning maps from prior games, but it also had some great original maps as well. My Season 2 Black Ops 4 map pack would include, starting us off with Seaside. Seaside was an amazing competitive map and played extremely well in Hardpoint, leading to some insane matches in the CWL. The clip that always sticks out to me is Dashy going off with the Tempest after an insane optic comeback. It's a pretty standard 3-lane design with some verticality thrown in there as well. Such a great map overall, and I hope they bring it back in Black Ops 6. Next up, Frequency, another great competitive COD map. Honestly, the maps in Black Ops 4 were so perfect for competitive. It really makes you appreciate it looking back after what we have now. Not only was this a good map for comp, but it was an amazing pub map as well. It just flows so well as a COD map with a standard 3-lane design with an underground route to hit as well. It plays well for search and destroy, hardpoint, and even control. Although I'm not a fan of the visuals of this map, you can't argue that it's not a great Call of Duty map. Let's get it in. Moving on to Arsenal. There's a common theme within these maps in Black Ops 4 in that they were all great competitive maps in the CWL. A very standard 3-lane map design here with flank routes available by using the ventilation shafts in the middle of the map to overlook the center room. A very good map for hardpoint, search, and control once again. Looking back at these, we were so blessed. Treyarch, what happened, man? Lastly, we have Hacienda. This may seem like a bit of a cop-out since we already know it's returning mid-season in Black Ops 6, but it's returning for a reason, and I can't ignore it here. Set in an old vineyard estate, Hacienda also follows a 3-lane map design, but it's a bit more creative with verticality and other map elements such as water. Hacienda plays great in hardpoint and search, making for some great competitive gameplay. I swear, this will be the last time I mention competitive. Black Ops 4 was just such a good comp game, I couldn't help it. The Black Ops 4 Season 2 map pack is complete. Seaside, Frequency, Arsenal, and Hacienda. Let's make it happen. Moving on to my favorite Call of Duty game of all time, Black Ops 3. I have so many good memories of this game, going for Dark Matter for the first time, grinding game battles, rip, quickscoping, hitting insane wall run routes, and the casualness that game had. And one thing it had an abundance of was good maps. Here are 4 I would love to see added to Black Ops 6. Fringe. What's there to say about Fringe? It's such a good COD map. It's 3 lanes, good for most game modes, great for search, you can snipe, run an AR, run an SMG, hell, even shotguns work here. It's visually appealing. Yep, let's get it in the game right now. Next, we have Stronghold, a snowy map that follows the traditional 3-lane style with focus being put on the mountainside house on the side of the map. Stronghold was such a good map for search, and it's the perfect size for a 6v6 COD map. A really good map for pubs and competitive? Oops. There's so much to like about this map. Combine. This was one of my favorite pub stomp maps in Black Ops 3. Pub stomp. There's a phrase you don't hear anymore. Thanks, skill-based matchmaking. This was a medium-sized map, but it played smaller. You were always in the action, but you had time to regroup and think about your next move as well. The wall run on the side of the map would need to be adjusted for Black Ops 6, but that's an easy workaround. I think Combine would be great in Black Ops 6. I'm gonna end with kind of a weird one. Splash. Splash was set in a water park and to this day is one of the most vibrant, beautiful, and unique maps to play on. If there's something the Black Ops 6 maps need, it's character, and Splash has a buttload of character. That's my Black Ops 3 Season 3 map pack. Fringe, Stronghold, Combine, and Splash. Black Ops 3 had so many good maps, it was hard to narrow it down. The only reason Redwood isn't here is because of the large focus on wall running on the tree side of the map, and I don't know how that would play without it. Either way, let's get some Black Ops 3 maps in here. Black Ops 2. Oh, Black Ops 2. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. This quote holds so true when thinking about Black Ops 2. A near perfect game, in large part due to the maps. I have 7 maps I would like added here, so I'm going to include 3 maps from Black Ops 1 and 2 maps from World at War to compensate for this. They just can't be left out. Let's start with Express, a search and destroy masterpiece. One of the reasons this map works so well is because it's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Each half of the map is an exact copy of the other. That formula may seem boring to people, but it works. Express has already been brought back in Cold War, like a lot of the Black Ops 2 maps, so we know it plays well. Let's get it in. Grind. I always liked Grind. Back when Grind came out, all of my friends had stopped playing Black Ops 2, and I was only sniping for some reason. I had some insane sniping gameplays on this map, and there's something so simple about it that just made it fun. It was added to Black Ops 4 way back when, so I don't know if they'd ever bring it back again, but this one is a straight nostalgia ad for me. I want to see Grind 24/7 in the near future. Let's get it in. Yemen. If you're a follower of competitive Call of Duty, sorry, I mentioned it again, one clip should come to mind when talking about Yemen. I thought Yemen was a great map for all modes, largely filled with those close quarters engagements making subs dominant. There was room for a variety of playstyles on the map as well, which made the map great for pubs and grinding diamond camos. Slums. Another map we've seen multiple times over, but there's a reason for this. Slums as a COD map just works. It's 3 lanes, subs are favored, ARs are usable, and it's great for all modes. One of the best pub maps of all time, hands down. Bring it back again and again. Hijacked. This has to be one of the best pub stomping maps of all time. In theory, it's not even a good design. It's narrow, but it has enough verticality that it makes spawn trapping harder. With Omni movement, I think the games on Hijacked would be insane. Let's make it happen. Standoff. This is one of my favorite maps ever. It plays so well in hardpoint, search, and domination. It's really good for pubs and really good for competitive as well. It's a perfect size for 6v6 and it would fit perfectly with Omni movement. We've already seen it come back for Cold War, but I don't care. Enough messing around. Let's get some quality maps back in the map pool. Lastly, Raid. I'm not even going to go into detail about Raid. We all know what makes it so special, and it's not nostalgia. Raid is literally the perfect Call of Duty map. If it were up to me, it would be in every Call of Duty. Get it in. That's the Black Ops 2 Season 4 map pack. Black Ops 2 was such a banger. There's a reason those maps are constantly brought back. They should be in every Call of Duty so we aren't caught playing Red Card and Vercuta over and over. On to Black Ops 1, another one of the greatest games in the franchise. We already have one map from this game in Black Ops 6 in Nuketown, and it's absolutely one of the more fun maps to play. But that's not saying much considering the maps we have. Let's kick this off with Jungle. I had such a blast on Jungle. It was a little slower pace, so it allowed for a more tactical approach to the game, which at the time was perfect for me as I was still getting used to COD. We've already seen it in Black Ops 4, and I had a great time with it on that game as well. Let's get it in. Firing range. I don't think much needs to be said about firing range. We've all seen it before, it's been brought back multiple times, and for good reason once again. The map just plays well, and people gravitate towards it. Some of my best games ever have come on firing range. It's the perfect size for a COD map and gives you non-stop action with a little bit of room to breathe as well. Lastly, Summit. Another one of my favorite maps. I have a lot of good memories on Summit, just messing around with the guys. It plays so well on most modes, and there's never a dull moment. Summit is an all-timer for sure. That's going to do it for the Black Ops 1 Season 5 map pack. Jungle, Firing Range, and Summit are good reps for Black Ops 1. I miss them. Lastly, we have World at War. If I'm being honest, I didn't really play World at War that much, so the only two maps that really stick out to me are Castle and Dome, both of which were in Call of Duty Vanguard, and we all know how that went. Since my opinion on World at War doesn't hold much value, I want to hear from you guys. What are some maps from World at War you'd want to see back? Let me know in the comments. That's going to conclude our throwback map pack video. It's great to look back on these maps and remember all the good times I had on them, and hopefully everyone will once they get added to Black Ops 6. Honestly, we need good maps sooner rather than later. The maps are killing the game at the moment, and there's only so much Nuketown a guy can play, so I can't wait for Hacienda to be put in with Season 1 Reloaded. But seriously, we need to get some of these maps in ASAP. That's going to do it for the video. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll chat then.